Hi, this is Attila16 and this is a video of Wargame European Escalation. And in this case it's a 3 versus 3 multiplayer. And this is a replay. So I'll introduce you to my army. So let's restrict this to my faction. There you go. So I appear in blue here. So I have Roland, which are good anti-air, and BT-70, which are good tank with missile, Bradleys, which are good recon tanks with missile and autocannon, while they are APC in theory. Then you have AMX-30, which is a light tank kinda. Then you have Roland 2, some Vab Mephisto. Vab Mephisto is essentially a French APC with missile on top, so it's kind of efficient. Then I have a few Chaparral, which I use for long range. Then you have my ally army here, which is made of V150, which are recons. Then you have Martyr Rolands, 2 Abrams, which are here. And then you have M106, which are a mortar unit, so it's an APC with a mortar in it. Then you have MBT-70, which are a main battle tank with missile and cannon and autocannon, so it's a strong unit. Then I use also a Kiowa here. Now let's see our ally on that side. He has Bradley, he has, what are these? Patton, I think. Super M60. Yeah, then he has some Blackhawk and some French Puma, which contain infantry. You also have some AMX APCs, some Roland, some Jaguar, which are an anti-tank vehicle, and that's pretty much it. So this my ally on the left side, right side, sorry, he has a lot of mobile troops to go capture on the side here. He's going on that side. My other ally, which is War Starter, is going around here, so he will fight for that area. And I plan to go into the center. Now if we check the enemy forces, let's see, what kind of army is that? So you have a lot of choppers transporting ground troops, as well as light chopper, which have anti-air and anti-ground capacity. Then here you have a few defender, some BMP-2, which is a good unit against infantry and light vehicle. Tungushka, which is anti-air. T-55, which have missile, the AMV version. Then he has a couple of infantry and APCs, which are missile as well. You have T-62M, which has missile. Then you have some Buck anti-air, which are long-range missile. Then you have a few infantry, regular infantry kinda. Then you have also some vehicle here, light UAZ with missile, and SPW here with missile infantry as well. So this guy is a big fanatic of missile. Now let's see about this one. You have some BTR-70 with missile infantry, some recon UAZ, BMP-1P, which has missile. Then you have BTRM, which are recons, some T-62M, which have missile, so it's tank with missile essentially. Then you have a few Buck, which are long-range missile, I think, or is that something else? No, these are actually a Strela anti-air. Alright. Or called 9K33 OSA IKM. Now this one also bring a few supply truck, which is interesting. And that seemed to be it. So the plan in my case was mostly to fight for the center, and I mostly did so in this game. I will not say that I was particularly successful, but I think in the end it did work out. So you can see now that we're moving, and let's see what I see. I don't see anything. And I'm sending my Kiowa on that hill because I'll have a good overview of what's going on here, and that will give us a clue of where the enemy are going. Even though it's a kind of a suicide mission, I think knowing what's going on is the most important part. And now we can start to see some enemies. So we see the choppers, which are moving on the flank there. But I also notice a lot of fast-moving vehicle on that side. At the same time, the enemy is shooting missile at my Kiowa, so I will lose him. And we also have a few Mi-8, which are now landing into the forest there. But that's pretty much all I had in terms of interest for that side. While here I'm actually using my French artillery, which is right here. It's the French artillery is really has a fast rate of fire, so that's useful. Now I destroyed a few transport vehicle, but if we check what's going on from all sides, you can see that there's a huge amount of troops there, including many missile infantry and some T-55 which have missile. While here I decided to move here because my tank will have a good angle on what's going on there, and I also guessed that there was a lot of infantry, so I decided to take the risk. While here my Bradleys are engaging the infantry which is there. And now my tanks are shooting the enemy from afar with both cannon and missile, destroying a few. At long range, at the same time the enemy has a lot of missile infantry, so they deploy that. And I think I'm not answering that threat accordingly. I should have prioritized destroying the missile infantry, which were on the ground here. But instead I let my tank destroy the vehicles. At the same time here I sent my Mephisto in the forest, even though I knew very well that there was infantry. That's a kind of stubborn mistake, because I wanted to suppress the enemy with missile over there, and I did not really care much about the safety of my troop, knowing clearly that there was some infantry in there. On that side, the enemy is advancing with their T-62M, which have missile once again, and which are shooting at my Bradleys. And I think the enemy recognized the efficiency of the Bradley as a recon vehicle and combat vehicle, because during all the game itself, it's clear that they were targeting the Bradleys. While here I sent my MBT-70, which did prove to be not particularly efficient at shooting the T-62. At the same time, they receive a large amount of fire. But here at the longer range, my MBT-70 did manage to destroy their T-62 one after the other. Because first of all, the enemy was panicking, and secondly, my troops were static on that position, so it did allow me to destroy them. At the same time here you had a unit of missile infantry, which now receive the fire of my French artillery, and that really does decimate them very well and secure that position. At the same time, you can see that the enemy is calling many T-55, and while I'm kinda, I don't know if I'm winning or losing in this case, killing a lot of enemies, but at the same time, the problem I have is that I don't have that many troops. And the enemy had a lot of missile units. So, and I'm running out of troops. So even though I did kill a lot of enemy, I'm not in particularly good condition now. Also, my Bradleys, which are my recon force, are pulling back under the fire of the enemy tanks. T-55. While here I'm pulling back my MBT-70 and putting him into the forest here, where he will mostly remain there. He's out of missiles, so it was no use to actually keep him in the area. At the same time, I have two, or actually we have two VAB command vehicle here, and we also have two command vehicle in Foxtrot, which is certainly what we could consider overkill. It wasn't necessary to have that many command vehicles, so it's our team probably was badly coordinated in that sense. At the same time, when you look at the adversary team, here you had 3 command vehicles, so that's a lot. Here Warstarter actually had a few Delta Force hidden, so he was able to have a clue of what was going on there. Actually, if we check on what we saw the enemy reinforcements coming my way in the center. And here I had one chopper, which I'm not sure if it will last long. But this is a Lynx, and this is a British chopper. And the reason why I use that is that they have tow missile, and at the same time they are not that expensive. So if you actually use them properly and safely, you might actually be able to be efficient with them. But at the same time here, Tunguska managed to kill it, which is very sad. So and they're moving it away because now the artillery is coming. So you can see here that there was quite a large battle for that hill, and while the enemy seemed to have captured it, it wasn't necessarily a good thing for them, because they seem to have lost quite a bit of troops. Now, at the same time, here on the center, you can see that the enemy doesn't have much attacking power on this side. So we were kind of missing an opportunity here to advance, but I took the opportunity a little by sending a few of my French tank ahead, because I was aware that there was some anti-air around. I wasn't sure what kind of defense there was over there, but I sent tank there nonetheless, and it turns out there was only anti-air. Now the enemy did answer with T-62M, which are a little better than my tank, sadly, so my tank will have a hard time. Well, here I'm resupplying my troops. Now you can see that even though my tank were numerous, they did not manage to defeat the enemy T-62M, which are heavier. And here you still have their anti-air, which is proving to be a pain for us. At the same time, now they are out of ammo, so that doesn't mean we were able to take advantage of that. While here my artillery is bombarding the enemy position, knowing that the enemy command vehicle was clearly there. But sadly, I did not manage to hit them. So let's see what I'm doing now. I'll restrict to my own troops. Now I'm really taking a defensive position here because I don't know what's over there. And you can see that I'm hiding in the forest, and I'm pulling back my command vehicle. I'm mostly using my artillery, which is right there, to bombard the enemy from afar. At the same time here, I have my tanks which I moved on that side of the forest in order to intercept the enemy, but I don't have any recon capacity, so it's a risk. And you see the enemy artillery which is stunning my tank, while my artillery is bombarding here still. And they actually managed to destroy the enemy command vehicle, I believe. Let's verify that. Yeah, okay, the command vehicle has been destroyed there. So that's important because Juliet give you 5 points. Same with Foxtrot, so holding the center is really important. Now you can see that the enemy is actually advancing in the center. And the good thing is that our ally actually put the command vehicle there. So while the enemy was advancing on that side, they could not really find a command vehicle there. At the same time, the command vehicle was really exposed, and our ally actually put many of his troops in the forest here to hold it. While on that side here, my tank were pushed back by the T-62 M1. So it did not go too well, but at the same time that was to be expected. Now the enemy is actually advancing really aggressively, and I think here I called 4 Bradley vehicles, and those Bradleys are I think really important in what will be the rest of the battle, because first of all, the Bradley had 48 tow missiles, which are really accurate. Secondly, they have a good view sight, so they can spot the enemy from afar. And you can see here, perhaps if I restrict the camera to what we saw, we can see that they can see really far. And so I saw the enemy coming, and so did my ally. My ally decided to move forward, which was probably a mistake. And my Bradley engaged the enemy infantry, and that's important because the Bradley has an autocannon, which is really effective at killing a light vehicle and infantry. So that meant that the enemy infantry wasn't able to move forward. At the same time, the enemy tank that the enemy sent were destroyed by the tow missile. And you can see that the enemy was actually strongly reacting to my Bradley presence by sending artillery. And the thing is that the Bradley don't have an amazing armor, so they are kind of exposed to artillery. But still, I kept fighting and moving them around, and the enemy was destroyed in great part by my Bradley spotting. Also, here you have a few tow links, so they are also assisting and being of great help because they were really accurate. The tow missile is accurate. So and also the enemy did not have any anti-air, so he did an attack which was relying essentially on tank, and that was a big mistake because I brought some choppers with tow, and those tow missiles destroyed a few of their tanks. At the same time, I was bombarding this area here with more or less effect. And here with the combination of my choppers and my Bradleys, the enemy tank were destroyed one after the other. I also had my ally assistance with another Bradley here. But for the most part, it's really my Bradley that did the job. At the same time here, they prevented the enemy infantry from crossing into the wood here with their autocannons suppress the enemy. And my artillery finished the job against those flamethrower infantry, which would have been really a big problem into the forest there. And you can see now that pretty much the whole place is burning. There's still 2 T-55 here, which are fighting, but with all the fire around, I'm not sure if they can see anything. At the same time, they have an angle which prevents me from seeing them. That's why I moved my Bradley closer to the side there. Well, on the rest of the battlefield, I didn't do much. But I think the presence of those Bradley really is a big difference in that area, because they have a good vision, and they have tow missile, which are good against tank. They have a tow cannon, which is good against infantry and light vehicles, so that make them game changer. And also, since they are recon, when you fire with your artillery, they will actually allow the artillery to aim with great accuracy. Alright, so switching back to neutral, now you can see that the enemy has more flamethrower infantry there, which he should probably have kept in the forest, but instead he decided to move them across the bridge, which was a big mistake, because it allowed us to slaughter them. As you can see, they don't seem in great shape. Alright, so what else? I brought is that me? No, that's a friendly. A friendly brought an AMX 110P, which is actually good against infantry with the tow cannon. So now that the enemy was bombarding my position, I decided to advance forward. It's what we can call fleeing forward. Alright, so now we did not really know what was ahead. We saw those T-80, but let's see what we saw. But as you can see, we did not really knew how much resistance there would be over there. And once again, I think the Bradley did play quite a role because of their recon capacity. They did allow us to see the enemies around. For example, I think, yeah, just look at this. My Bradleys are actually firing missile all the way over here. So that just show you the range of those Bradley tow missile. So even at such a range, they did manage to destroy at least one vehicle, and I'm sure that guy was a little surprised by that. Here my ally is advancing with Patton tank against T-80, which are really dangerous, but we managed to destroy them thanks to all the tow missile we had. And now we keep pushing forward. Now let's switch back to what we see and don't see. As you can see, we only see very few enemies around. We know that there's a few infantry on the road, and now my choppers, which are here, are getting shot at by the enemy anti-air. I lose one of my choppers, sadly, but the other one survived. While we do that, I am pushing forward, and now we have a visual on the enemy infantry right there, which he should have concealed better, because we had a good sight on them, and also we had the mean to destroy infantry, whether it was with the Bradleys or with the artillery like that. Now he answered our advance with choppers, which proved to be a problem for us because we did not have much anti-air. I only had a few Roland, but I'm not sure if I actually ended up using them. As you can see, that place has been flattened, literally. And I kept fleeing forward because the enemy artillery was really powerful. And now we had a good visual on the enemy command vehicle over there, but it was too late. It was a victory, minor victory, but victory nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed that battle, and I'll see you on the next one.